Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and this woman, this Muslim woman, is calling out her local school board for unbelievable stuff that is in her children's library. This is just nuts. But before we dive in, I want to give a quick shout out to our great sponsors over at Colonial Metals Group. They quite literally have the cure to bite inflation and Harris economics, but more on that later. Now, let's dive in.
Dear Diary, it's hard being 6. Today we read a weird book, My Rainbow. It was about a boy who wanted to be a girl. He was a transgender girl. A transgender girl? That's a big word for somebody my age, but it just got harder. My teacher asked me if I was a cis girl. Well, what's that? A girl who wants to be a girl. Well, why can't I just be a girl? Because, she said loudly, a girl can be many things. Can everything be many things or just people? My teacher said I was asking too many questions, but that's what happens if I don't understand things, hard things. So a boy just has to wear a wig to be a girl? So you can wear a wig if you're a boy, she said, when you're little, but then when you grow up, you can go to the doctor and be a complete girl. Dr. Stepansky, our dentist, does that? No, there are other doctors, gender-affirming ones. Let's talk about that later. But why not now? Can I be an animal, miss? A pig? Sure. I came home and Mommy had made pork chops. I couldn't eat a pig being a pig. Mommy told me I was not a pig and that I was a girl. And it really hurt my feelings. I don't think Mommy loves me anymore. I asked Mommy if she was a cis mommy or a transgender mommy. Mommy said I was thinking too much. I think I was. Can we just keep it simple? I don't want to choose between my mommy and my teacher. Aren't they both supposed to be right? Now I ask you all, can you guarantee that these discussions are not taking place post-reading My Rainbow? Children have unlimited imagination. There is no concept of censorship. Feeding them concepts that they are not able to digest, comprehend, and differentiate provides confusion and distorts view on their simple reality. I will not strip my children of this innocence. I will not put them in the center of a highway with traffic coming from all different directions. They are mine, not yours. Reinstate opt-out.
I keep telling y'all, and I'm going to keep saying it until it stops. This is not just endemic to Democrat school districts. This is not just in New York City or Los Angeles or anywhere in California. It's not just in Chicago. It's not just in these major Democrat areas. This is occurring everywhere. There is a huge fundamental problem that we are just now realizing, and it's been rotting our kids' brains. And for some reason, it's defended at nearly every single level by these ridiculous teachers and these school boards that want to introduce your children to concepts that they are not prepared. And I'm not talking about projects like, the 1619 project, where it turns out that was historical garbage. Or the idea of, what did we used to be so mad about? I actually can't remember. I guess that's what happens when you've been on the internet too long. But they were trying to teach kids that critical race theory. There it is, critical race theory. And it was seeping down even into our elementary school systems. But that's not what's going on with this. This is a little bit more insipid. Granted, critical race theory should play a role in education at the collegiate level at a 300 level class or a graduate level course. Because you need to understand a couple of things if you're going into certain fields, and it's okay to study them there. Because at that point, the student's mind is capable of handling this sort of concept. All right? An elementary school student can't understand critical race theory. Hey y'all, I'm not exactly looking at retirement anytime soon, but my parents are, and friends of my parents are, and I'm sure either you or someone you know is looking at retirement and wondering, what do I do? How do I help prepare for this in this economy with this terrible president and with a vice president who basically coup d'etat him and is now looking to run for president herself? How do you protect against this? Well, simple. You go over to my friends at Colonial Metals Group. They quite literally have something called the Retirement Package Plan. This plan backs your wealth with gold and silver accounts. And furthermore, you will have direct access to these accounts. So you're not at the whims of Wall Street. You're not at the whims of inflation. You are in command of your own destiny. As a bonus, qualified applicants can receive up to $10,000 in free silver, plus a couple of other little goodies that they're going to package up for you, and you're going to be able to protect your wealth and your retirement. So go over to this link in the description below at colonialmetalsgroup.com or call this number 800-203-0422 and see how they can help you prepare for retirement today by backing your account with gold and silver. Don't delay your retirement, folks. Protect the money that you earned with Colonial Metals Group. They're here to help. However, when it comes to sexuality, when these kids haven't even gone through puberty, for some insane reason, these woke teachers, these terrible school boards, will quite literally be handing your kids not just handbills, all right, but actual books about concepts that they are not capable of handling. And when it comes to sexuality, you leave that out of the hands of young students in elementary schools. That is disgusting to do. These kids aren't ready for those sort of conversations. And then you're forced to have a parent have an awkward conversation with their child and then force them into a situation where it's either the teacher's wrong or the parents are wrong. That is not a good place for the mental health of any child, particularly when the child is being raised by the parents and not by the school system. And yet, that's what is happening. The school system is raising our kids. That's not good. There's a whole multitude of reasons why that's happening, but that's not what this video is about. This video is a reminder that this smut is being pushed in children's faces. And I'm not talking about middle school students who might need to understand some of these concepts in order to understand themselves. However, we also have ways to deal with it outside of the school system. Our school systems need to be both secular and non-sexual. We do not need to be driving a wedge between these woke teachers and the kids' parents. That's not fair to the kids, that's not fair to the parents, and that's certainly not good for the teachers. Because when you do that, you are taking the faith in your parents away and then putting it back into the hands of the state. That is a very interestingly communistic way of thinking, don't you think? A little too collectivist for my taste. Now, I would probably never put my child in a public education system to begin with, mainly because I no longer have any trust in their abilities to teach children. All right, the Deweyan system that we use at nearly every single level of our public education system sucks. All right, it just sucks. And the reason for that is it isn't broad enough. There's no way for kids to really open up and have more time with more Montessori-style school systems, or to reform and have what's the phrase for it? Classical education. My uncle used to work at a school that used a classical model, where they cared more about your Latin and your history, but most importantly, about your ability to logically think things. Okay, we don't really emphasize that in our current education model. It's more of push kids in, get certain numbers out, and if the test scores are there, we're all good. That is a dumb system in the modern world. People are too complicated and too complex to go through a simple system. Really, it's not simple, but you get what I'm trying to go for. When you try to go for a one-size-fits-all educational model, it doesn't work. So not only does this system give us suboptimal students, it's now full of people who want to try to wave a pride flag in front of your kid's face at early as the age of 5 and 6 years old and say, hey, are you gay? That's not a thing to ask an elementary school student. And yet we have thousands of teachers promoting this. We have thousands of school board members who won't take action, and the moment the parents started realizing this was going on and started pushing back, it was the parents that got put on watch lists. It was the parents who were put on FBI special lists, and it was the parents who got thrown out of the meetings. There is a war for your kids. And there's always a war for your kids at some point. But this is insane. What we are dealing with is deeply, deeply insane. And folks, until this changes, I'm going to keep talking about it. Because our children deserve better than this. They deserve an education, not indoctrination. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Political Brawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.